When you look into their eyes, you know somebody is home.
The speedboat herded them in, and they could just pick out the young ones.
This is the worst thing that I've ever done.
An animal that possesses great spiritual power, not to be meddled with.
I feel somewhat responsible because it was the Flipper TV series that created this multi-billion-dollar industry.
You realize after a while they don't really belong in captivity.
They said if the world finds out what goes on here, we'll be shut down.
The dolphin smile is nature's greatest deception. It creates the illusion they're always happy.
The industry doesn't want you to know the truth about what you're eating, because if you knew, you might not want to eat.
The way we eat has changed more in the last 50 years than in the previous 10,000.
They have managed to make it against the law to criticize their products.
Imagine what it would be if, as a national policy, the idea would be to have such nutritionally dense food that people actually felt better, had more energy, and weren't sick as much.
Bear Stearns, Goldman Sachs, Lehman Brothers, they knew what was happening.
They were having massive private gains at public loss.
It's a Wall Street government.
You come to us today telling us we're sorry, we won't do it again. Trust us. Well, I have some people in my constituency that actually robbed some of your banks. And they say the same thing.
You can make people do anything if they're afraid.
When we had some airplanes authorized at the highest levels of our government to pick up Osama bin Laden's family members and transport them out of this country.
In the middle of the war, corporations decided to hold a conference to figure out how much money could be made.
Trying to get members of Congress to get their kids to enlist in the Army and go over to Iraq. Congressman? Congressman?
Tumbling little balls in there about this big around with something like 600 pellets in each ball that would blow out as soon as they hit the ground and shred people to pieces. But I look at my children now, and I don't know what would happen if, what I would think about if someone napalmed.
If you miss the train I'm on, you will know that I am gone.
3 young boys murdered in cold blood.
Life imprisonment without parole. Death by lethal injection.
No one wants to admit that they made a mistake.
I'd give my life to know the fucking truth.
But the person who killed those 3 kids is still out there walking on the street.
I think you guys might be really good friends at some time.
We were, and they started bullying me.
A Perkins boy, just 11 years old, believed to have been desperate enough to take his own life.
They punch me, strangle me, take things from me, sit on me.
He's not safe on that bus.
I've been on that bus. They are just as good as gold.
I will go to my grave until a difference is made.
Estoy haciendo eso porque tengo casi 3 años de no ver a mi mamá. Y espero estar unida con ella. Y me imagino que estábamos allá jugando con la nieve y todo.
¿Te ha contado tu mamá que hay nieve allá? ¿Y que hace frío?
Sí.
¿Y cómo te imaginas? ¿Qué más te imaginas?
Que estoy allá alegre con mi hermana.
You had better wake up and understand that there are people who are guiding your life and you don't even know it. That is why our country and our world has become so proliferated with entertainments, mass media, television shows, and every kind of entertainment to keep the human mind entertained so that you don't get in the way of important people by doing too much thinking.
Now, if that isn't a hazard to this country, how are we going to keep building nuclear weapons? You know what I mean? What's going to happen to the arms industry when we realize we're all one? It's going to fuck up the economy. The economy that's fake anyway. The economy that's fake anyway. The economy that's...
It
one thing that we could say about African peoples is that we left evidence of ourselves all over this planet. And that's the problem with European scientists. The deeper they dig, the blacker the planet gets. And what we have been made to see now is this infusion of European, I guess, philosophies about what the past was, and no one else on TV is actually giving us evidence of what we were, who we were, but Europeans.
A European writer by the name of Gerald Massey said in one of his books that Stonehenge was built by an African man named Mauryan.
Melanin is a neurochemical which is ultimately responsible for the color that we have in our skin. Melanin was always considered an intellectual sort of a chemical.